The 60-year secret. What they don't want you to know about Somaliland. Fan. They told you Somaliland was a breakaway region. They told you it was a 1991 rebellion. They lied.
It was nationalism that brought freedom to the people of Uganda and Tanganyika and Sudan and Somaliland.
The truth is sitting in declassified CIA files from 1948 and diplomatic records from June 1960. Somaliland didn't just appear. It was a recognized nation with its own seat at the table before the Somali Republic even had a flag. For 60 years, the international community has tried to delete the history books. But today, the Berbera dagger is unsheathed, and the secret is finally open for business. Fan, welcome back to Semanania Spotlight. Pull back the curtain, Horn of Africa. You are watching Semanania Spotlight, where we bring you the raw fire, the truth, and the stories that the mainstream media is too afraid to touch. Today, we are about to dismantle a lie that has been sold to the world for over 60 years. You've heard the shockwaves. On December 26, 2025, a video call from Benjamin Netanyahu to the president of Somaliland, Dr. Abdirahman Mohammed Abdallah, changed history. But the scandal isn't the recognition itself. The real scandal is how much of the past the international community has quietly erased to keep you in the dark. The Somaliland they don't want you to remember. What if everything you believe about Somaliland, its history, its sovereignty, its very right to exist, is wrong? According to a groundbreaking investigation originally published in Sunday Island, Colombo, we are witnessing the collapse of a massive historical cover-up. The world calls Somaliland a breakaway region. The UN calls it an assault on territorial integrity. But the facts tell a different story. A story of a 1960 independence that the world once celebrated and then conveniently forgot. The 1960 inconvenient truth. Somaliland is not a rebel province invented in 1991. History reminds us that on June 26, 1960, the British Protectorate became a fully independent state. It wasn't just a declaration. It was a reality recognized by over 35 countries, including the United States and the United Kingdom. Somaliland was a sovereign nation before the Somali Republic even existed. The union with Italian Somalia 5 days later was a rushed political marriage, an act of union that was never legally ratified by a joint parliament or a referendum. When that union collapsed in 1991 amid genocide and the carpet bombing of Hargeisa, Somaliland didn't secede from a functioning country. It withdrew from a failed marriage and reclaimed a sovereignty it already legally held. The CIA files, the unity myth. Declassified intelligence reveals that even the Americans knew the pan-Somali dream was a fragile house of cards. A 1948 CIA assessment exposed that the Somali Youth League, the group mythologized as the voice of unity, had no appeal for the residents of British Somaliland. The CIA noted that only 3% of the population belonged to these political parties, and that Northerners were cautious, localized, and skeptical of the centralist ideology in Mogadishu. Somaliland's current governance, built on clan peace and decentralization, isn't a new rebellion. It is a return to form for a political culture that was always different. The Shadow War, Israel's long game. Why Israel? Why now? While Somalia in Mogadishu spent decades framing Israel as an imperial enemy, Somaliland remembered its 1960 roots, when Israel was the first country to send a telegram of recognition to Hargeisa. Multiple intelligence sources confirm that the Mossad didn't just show up last week. They have been on the ground for years, cultivating deep security and intelligence ties managed outside formal channels. Secret visits took place throughout 2025 between Hargeisa and Tel Aviv. Israel isn't acting on idealism. They are acting on the blunt logic of power. Geography. From Berbera, Israel can overlook the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, the world's most critical maritime artery. The target. With Houthi drones threatening Red Sea trade, Berbera provides a force multiplier that allows Israel to monitor and strike threats from just 500 kilometers away. The Gaza factor and the UAE. We cannot ignore the elephant in the room. There are incendiary reports, though officially denied, that Somaliland was discussed as a potential destination for Palestinians displaced from Gaza. Whether fact or fiction, the very existence of these rumors shows how the world treats Somaliland, not as a community of 5 million people, but as empty strategic space to be traded by global powers. The UAE's fingerprints are everywhere. Their massive $442 million investment in Berbera's port and airport long before Israel's move wasn't just about business. It was about anchoring the Abraham Accords in the Horn of Africa. The UAE didn't join the 21-nation condemnation of Israel this week. Why? Because they are the silent architect of this entire project. China and the new Cold War. Somaliland is also a key piece in the battle against China. While China entrenching itself in Djibouti, Somaliland has aligned with Taiwan, making it a natural ally for the West and Israel. Senator Ted Cruz recently urged the U.S. to recognize Somaliland to counter Chinese influence. By recognizing Hargeisa, Israel has just done the heavy lifting for the Western alliance. The ticking clock. The world is scared. The backlash is severe. From Turkey to the African Union, the establishment is screaming. Why? Because if Somaliland is recognized, the Greater Somalia Doctrine dies forever. The AU's own 2005 fact-finding mission admitted that Somaliland's case is historically unique, yet they shelved the report for 20 years. Much of this outrage rests on selective memory. Somalia is defended as a victim of aggression, while its own history of pursuing Greater Somalia and its rejection of colonial borders is quietly erased. Ethiopia, the next piece to fall? Addis Ababa is watching with bated breath. For Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, Israel's move is a diplomatic shield. If Ethiopia follows suit, they aren't breaking the law. They are joining a new international trend. The quest for sea access via Berbera is no longer a rogue Ethiopian ambition. It is now a sanctioned international corridor. The international community is terrified of a reckoning with the facts it once openly acknowledged. Is Somaliland a new problem or an old solution we've been ignoring for too long? Is the Berbera dagger the security the Horn needs, or have we just opened the door to a global firestorm? What do you think, fan? Is the world finally waking up to the truth, or is Somaliland just being used as a pawn in a bigger game between Israel, the UAE, and China? Should Ethiopia sign the deal tomorrow? Drop your fire in the comments below. Let's get the discussion moving. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss the truth behind the headlines. This is Semanania Spotlight, keeping the fire burning. We'll see you on the next one.